We're back, folks, this time for a review of the new Roto Grip Attention Star. This is not the house shot today. We're on a medium 5-to-1 pattern that's about 27 mils and about 40 feet in length. So we'll get a look at something a touch tougher than the normal house shot here, but not super tough. This one's pretty unique. These AI balls for me are pretty mid-laney and want to rev up and want to continue in a really unique way. And this is no exception to that. This ball's been great for me when they're hooking a little bit, before they kind of cliff up, when I feel like I need something a little bit bigger cover-wise to blend that out. This is kind of the go-to ball for me. It's pretty round. You'll see if I get it up the lane or don't rotate it just right, it does kind of want a flat 10. I actually don't mind that because I'd rather it be a little more liable to sort of bail or underreact than take off and sort of dive through the face. So I think it rounds off in the right spot and gives me a pretty big break point where even if I am not making great shots, it's going to kind of keep me out of trouble. Shape-wise for this one, think bigger, stronger Roto Grip Rubicon UC2. The UC2 for me was uniquely sort of torquey and wanted to rev up a lot earlier than a lot of the shiny ASIMs that we get in the Roto Grip line. Something like the RSTX2 really floated through it and got a lot further down the lane before you saw the core sort of engage. And the Attention Star, to me, you see the core pick up a lot more, sort of in a similar spot to that UC2. This is the same cover stock as that RSTX2, so there's certainly some familiarity there and some pretty clean through the oil, pretty clean through the front and middle part of the lane that you can see. But overall, I think the shape of this one actually resembles the UC2. So the highlights here before we get into the comparisons, we've got something that is torquey and revs up pretty quick, but is really smooth. So overall, we've got like a clean, smooth ball, but it's probably one of the stronger versions of that package that we've had that I can remember. First up, we have the Storm Infinite Physix for comparison, and this is one that I just can't seem to put down. It's that perfect, blendy, clean, tippy sort of pearl asymmetrical ball that's early and round enough that I can throw it on the fresh, but clean and continuous enough that I can stay in it for a really long time. I love balls like this that give me a really long continuation window. That typically goes hand in hand with a really long window of usability throughout a block or throughout league, where generally speaking, I don't have to put it down unless ASIMs really get out of play and they really start to hook in the front part of the lane. Overall, you'll see the shapes here aren't actually too different. I think I have the Infinite Physix a couple feet further down the lane, maybe 3 or 4 feet further down the lane. But overall, they're both pretty smooth, pretty rounded. That's just a shape I really like to see, especially somewhere like Enterprise Park where the house shot tends to hook a little more. If I can get the ASIMs to kind of get to the front the right way, then this smoother shape really gives me a big break point to work with and a lot of like off hits that I'll catch and stuff like that. It's just a really good matchup for a lot of different conditions. Compared to the house shot, overall this 5-to-1 pattern felt like it had a little more oil in the front part of the lane, and it demanded a little bit shallower angles and a little bit further right compared to the house shot. If I wanted to get in and shape it, I really had to gear my speed down and increase my axis rotation, and even with those changes, I had to make really good shots. Next up, we have the Virtual Energy Blackout, and I think this is the pearl asymmetric ball in the Storm family that all other pearl asymmetric balls are compared to. The Blackout is the benchmark, and you'll see here overall the Blackout's cleaner and more angular than the Attention Star, although it's not that much weaker. That Rex Pearl is a deceptively strong cover because it's really clean, but it creates a lot of friction response. It creates a big motion down the lane, and so this larger core that's in the Blackout really gets pushed down the lane by the cover, but it doesn't kill it at all. It really does a lot on the back part of the lane, where the Attention Star overall probably is a touch smoother and maybe a pinch earlier than the Blackout. That's it for this one. Attention Star is out now. What are you waiting for?